There cannot be classroom instruction by a teacher about gender identity or sexual orientation for kids up to grade 3.
And that was Matt Walsh talking about Governor DeSantis. Florida generated Governor DeSantis to sign a bill that people labeled Don't Say Gay bill. What they're trying to do is stop talking about gender and sexuality to kids that don't know anything about it in kindergarten, first, second, and third grade. That is causing outrage. Governor DeSantis not backing off. How do you feel about this bill? Will it stand this test of scrutiny? Because the federal government is threatening to take some money or financing away if it goes through.
I think it will withstand scrutiny, even if it takes getting it up to the Supreme Court. And I think it's an entirely reasonable bill. It's very reasonable to say that kids at that kind of tender age, that subject matter shouldn't be raised and taught in school at that point.
Are you amazed that we have to have this conversation?
I am.
What happened with education in your mind? You have a long view of it in your book about what happened to the American education. We had a public school system that welcomed Christian Judeo values.
Right.
So there was no reason to really do what Europe has done. Could you expand on that?
Well, the Western tradition has been that moral formation and moral education was the job of the parents and the church, and it wasn't the state's role to tell people what the good life was and make men in their own image. And but then when we established public schools in the middle of the 19th century, the religion that was taught there was basically consistent with the mores and the beliefs of most Americans. Up until 1960, 95% of the American people identified themselves as Christian. And the schools were basically Christian. They taught the Bible, they said the Lord's Prayer, and so forth. Then starting in the 1960s, they tried to secularize school by stripping out Christianity. And then starting under the Obama administration, it was more like indoctrination. It wasn't taking out Christianity. It was putting in something else that tells someone why to be good. In other words, if you say to someone, thou shalt not do this, then you better be able to explain why. And once you do away with Christianity, how do you tell people why? They started affirmatively putting in ideology, alternative ideology like critical race theory or transgenderism and things like that.
Some anti-American views.
Right, anti-American views. And so the state doesn't have any business doing